far back as I can remember, I've been in front of the camera. Not just the TV cameras, but I'm talking about my family taking home movies of me when I was really, really little. We lived in Gary, Indiana. My father worked in a steel mill, and we lived on a street called Jackson Street. Coincidentally, that was the name of the street. And imagine 9 kids living in a 2-bedroom house. We had to wait in line to take baths, and that's a snowball fight, I think. Wrestling in the snow, that's me on the far right. I don't want nothing to do with it. They were pretty rough. Yeah, that's me, I'm freezing. I think that's Tito on the ground. Just the living room. We would move out all the furniture, and I remember, and we would dance and perform. And we loved it. You could see the smile on my face that I loved it. And my father was standing right in front of us, watching us, making sure we did everything just right. That little girl that my mother is holding is Janet, who is now Mrs. Rhythm Nation. And that's a party. We played a lot of parties. We're actually performing the music that they're dancing to. That's the guitar. If you look at the back, you see me spinning around right there. And my mother made all of our costumes. We did parties, we opened shopping centers, we did any kind of thing, you know. But we traveled constantly every night. The record company usually like for you to support your album and go on tour. And I don't like to. I do like relating to the fans, giving the fans a chance to see you face to face, because you go from Hong Kong to Africa to China to Brazil to, you know, Singapore, Switzerland, London, Paris, Russia, and the stadiums are just jammed, and the energy is great. It's fantastic. And we have, I mean, I don't know how they enjoy the show, because it's festival seating. They don't want chairs. Even if there were chairs, they would stand on them and just... So we have a tent on the side. It's usually like 5,000 faints every night, and we have all these doctors and paramedics. But it's a difficult thing to tour. You go from one continent to another, you're sleepy, the time zones are different, you can't sleep after the show, the adrenaline is up here.
Well, can we just do it again without just the negative, saying that you don't like the tour?
I don't like it though.
I know, but say this.
I go through
but what
hell.
Is it setting up though? I don't understand.
I go through hell touring. Okay, then I'll make it positive then.
Yeah, it's just.
Well, you know the truth.
Yeah.
Okay.
And action, Michael.
I love to tour. You guys must set up.
Just say.
Why you all start laughing? I'm going to get into it. No, but seriously, there is a good part of touring. It's the fans. I love my fans. You go to any city, anywhere in the world, they know all the songs, all the dance moves, everything. They even come with the tape on their fingers, the hats and the gloves and everything. It's just a wonderful experience. I love it. The fans are the reason why I do the tours. And it's very important to give the best show that we can possibly give them. As far as cautiousness and being alert and musicianship, you guys are wonderful. I would say the same for wardrobe and technology. They made a couple of mistakes. You were great voice. It wasn't your fault. I just say. Okay.
All right. Thank you very much. All right. We're gonna get our other. Okay. Go. I've
met a lot of people in my life, and very few are real friends. You can probably count them on one hand. And Elizabeth is one of the most loyal, loving, caring people that I know. She decided to transform Neverland into its first Christmas, because I don't celebrate Christmas.
It is 1993, and this will be Michael Jackson's very first Christmas. It has taken me, I would think, about 5 years of talking him into celebrating Christmas at Neverlands, because I understood that if you are a Jehovah's Witness, they don't celebrate Christmas. When he quit being a Jehovah's Witness, I said to Michael, I think Christmas is a wonderful way of celebrating love. It's a celebration of love. And I can't see Christmas without Michael, or Michael without Christmas. It's pretty, isn't it?
I had no idea she was planning this. This was a real surprise.
Michael?
That's my bedroom that she's coming to now.
Michael? It's the spirit of Christmas. Come to haunt you.
I'm not easy to wake up.
Michael! Don't jump at the sight of my little dog.
She know I don't like that dog because I'm afraid of dogs. They're little, but they bite.
Oh, you so good. Come on. Welcome to your first Christmas.
Oh my God. It's incredible. I can't believe this. This is the first time. She decorated the entire house.
That's yours.
Santa King?
Santa from Bel Air.
Santa from Bel Air. Now open it.
Sure.
At the same time, it's exciting. I felt guilty too at the same time. I remember going in the bathroom crying later because I felt I had done something wrong because I was raised not to ever celebrate it. Ooh, love it. Yes, put it on right now.
Realizing you're photographing me without any makeup on.
Love it. Super soaker. Now I know how to wake up Elizabeth tomorrow.
How? It's awful noise. Oh my God!
You better lock your door.
A shooting gallery.
This shit is a super soaker. I can feel it and tell.
And it says, I want a squirt gun. I want a squirt machine gun.
She's snatching presents. And I have this one. It's for you, but can I have it? Thank you. What is it? It's a water gun. A water gun.
How do you know it's water gun?
Because I see it at the top.
That's not fair.
It's a super soaker.
Take it.
Thank you. You're too kind.
Plastic suit for the...
They heard.
Super soaker. Yeah.
If you're wondering why I love Super Soaker so much, it's because if you come to Neverland, it's a rule that you are bound to get wet. Either be thrown in the pool, or you have a water balloon fight, or a Super Soaker fight. And I love all of the above. That's Janet. We think so much alike.
I love this.
And here come Macaulay Culkin.
You ready?
Come on, Daddy.
See, Mac takes big buckets of water and throw them on him. He cheats a lot, but he's fun. He loves to have fun, just like me. We're off to the field. Super Soakers are really high tech. They got some really great ones now. That's Mac's older brother, Shane. Okay, we're preparing the water balloon fight.
What's the name of our group this time, man?
What are you feeling?
Where were we last time? That was okay. Legions of Doom.
We had teams. We used the whole ranch. My favorite thing in the world to play, if you call it a sport, it's a sport. It's a water balloon fight. 'Cause I like the way they splatter when they hit. I've never lost a water balloon fight. I'm the Michael Jordan of water balloon fighting.
Legions of Doom.
Yay.
We won the fight again and again.
Well, Janice, what's it like on the winning team?
If he's gonna get me.
Great. Ah! Woo! Woo!
This is the face of a person who would do something like that. I'm gonna be innocent. Right?
I mean, I went through this entire water balloon fight
Victory! Victory!
completely dry. But knowing Macaulay Culkin, he made sure, he schemed on, he told me to go up on the diving board, and I went up there like a nut.
Ah! No!
I'll kill you! I'm gonna kill you, Mac! Mac, I'm going to annihilate you.
This is a rehearsal for these scenes, practicing my acting. I'm not like other guys. I mean, I'm different. That's for sure. I'm a monster. When the moon is full, I metamorphosize into another being. And one other thing I have to get straight, people always tend to be rude to me. And I'm just not taking it no more. Rob, how close are you?
I don't know. Pretty close.
Like this? Or can you see chest?
I can see right about where your Nike is.
What a schmuck. Back up. Ah, didwit. Like this. That's how you back up. I said on one of my interviews, it's my dream to go in a supermarket and just shop and be like everybody else and put things in a basket. Because I can't do it. Because when I try to do it, people crowd around you. They want autographs and they want you to sign things and take pictures. That's why I love disguises so much. I could sit on a bench at Disneyland and see what people really do and talk about. But when they see it's Michael Jackson, they change. I don't see the real thing, you know. So I want to see the real world, what it's really like, and it's very difficult. So a good friend of mine who owns this mall, he had them close the whole shopping mall, and he had people in there that I knew pretending as if they were shopping, so it felt like, you know, it was a real environment. Had my cousins dressed like they were bag boys, and I went shopping. It was great. They planned everything right down to the music.
Yeah, now people will know who you are when you start to put the glove on. What's the gun? Big red. That is red.
It was a lot of fun. It gave me a chance to see in my way kind of what the real world is like, even though it wasn't the real thing. Eventually, I started recognizing people, like the woman in the blonde wig is my nanny. Even Elizabeth Taylor was there. She was on the cover of this magazine.
What are you looking at?
Where's your card? It is. Oh, that one right there.
Everybody was messing with me, trying to steal my card.
will though. Is there a problem here?
Where's my card? Wait. Oh, no, trade cards with you got stuff here. These are my things. Where did my card go?
Right there, just take that
Sorry,
one.
was he trying to steal your card?
100%.
If you can't keep track of your card, you shouldn't shop.
He's like, I gotta buy that.
Michael Bay.
My first shopping experience in 30 years.
Just remember, Michael Jackson ice cream.
It was just like being at Disneyland, in my opinion, because I got to do something that I usually don't get to do. We were in Copenhagen, I think, and there was just a sea of people. There was like over 200,000 people, and her eyes were watery. She was on the side of the stage, and I said, "Mother, what's wrong? Why are you crying?" She said, when you were a baby and I was holding you in my arms, I would have never dreamt that you would do this. You would have this kind of effect on an audience like this. And I gave her a hug and tried to get her on stage. She's so shy. No matter what, she will not come on stage. But I thought that was really sweet of her. Neverland appeals to the child inside of every man, woman, and child. It's a place where I feel that you can return to your childhood. You find grown-ups, doing things they hadn't done since they were like 10 years old. And it's just a fun, wonderful place to be. It's so much to do. I always wanted to have a place where you're just busy all day and there's just unlimited space to go on quads and mountains and horseback and all kind of fun things. So it's just a fun place. I love it, and I will always love it. And I will never ever sell Neverland. Neverland is me. It represents the totality of who I am. It really does. I love Neverland.
Okay, here we go on 3. Wait, don't cheat.
Ready?
No, but your hands gotta be inside the pocket, man.
No.
I'm gonna beat you.
Ready?
Are you ready?
Wait, no, I'm not ready. Ready? No.
I'm crazy for doing this. Okay, no, you gotta stretch your back. You gotta.
Whoa. I'm not doing the Superman. Ready? Good, set, go.
You cheater!
He cheats a lot, but he's fun. He loves to have fun.
And it took a lot of body coordination and a lot of confidence, courage, and belief.
That's my cousin Elijah. Just pushed me in the pool. That's Levon, my other cousin, in the red.
No!
I dried off. They pushed me right back in. I can't believe that. First shot of me with no shirt on.
I'm a nice person. I just took a shower and I washed my hair thoroughly.
See what they do to me? Mac is the most reckless driver. Oh my God.
You almost killed me.
It's his brother Kieran on the back.
Did you see that leap? Your foot is ran over.
They're good kids though.
I know. Exactly.
This is what he did. Look, he had the camera and he went.
It's me and my cousin on the trampoline.
That was close. This is egg hunt day.
Yeah.
And we're going. How many eggs are there?
45.
How many?
45.
45.
Yeah.
We're looking for 45 eggs.
And there'll be special prizes.
Do we get prizes?
Yeah.
A trip to Bermuda.
Yeah!
And a trip.
Universal
Universal
Studios.
A trip to Walt Disney World.
Let's
Ready?
start now.
1, 2, 3, go.
Whoever finds the golden egg gets the biggest prize.
Hello. I have no fortune. Nothing. Please, you know where they gave me? Would you tell me, please? I want to win this game. Hey! Yes! My first egg. My first.
My 6th egg.
Oh my
Which
God.
is my 7th egg. Thank
See,
you.
there are egg hunters around here.
Hey!
Nice. They steal my eggs, please.
The host with the most.
Michael?
Yeah. He went to lift the thing and I grabbed it.
Hey, Applehead! Say bye, Applehead!
Oh, it said Applehead right on it. That's
Most kids never call me by a name Michael, either Applehead or another name which I don't want to say. It's not a bad word.
Applehead!
I'm skipping to the egg. It's mixed.
In someone's pocket, there's an egg.
Yeah, because I heard what Lee said. 10.
And
We had some fun.
now here's our winner. 14 eggs.
We had
$70.
What?
Applehead.
Say that, Bump down, bump down.
Oh. Why did I let him do that? I was born in a kid.
There's Gregory Peck and his wife Veronique. See Gregory dancing? That's the child that comes out inside of the men when they come to Neverland. He's one of the nicest people in the world. I really love Gregory Peck and his wife. That's their dog, Blanket, believe it or not. And Blanket's sister is Elizabeth Taylor's dog. Gregory Peck is a dear, dear friend of ours. He's singing, he's happy. Now he would never go on the zipper. I hold the world record on that ride. I went on that for 35 minutes straight.
I like to have those at the house. You order one or two? So when Michael comes,
Never again.
all right.
I loved it, but I hated it.
When we were going on
But Gregory, I mean, he gets on this thing and he brings back his childhood.
Thanks. Can we do it every weekend?
Joe Jackson Day represents a day for our father. We don't celebrate birthdays really, so we create a day for our father and a day for our mother. All the family comes and we present them with speeches, how we feel about them, and we give them presents. There he is, the guy who taught me everything on stage. There's Janet. There's Alex, the chimp. She's got earrings on. See, my father loves animals. I think that's where I got my love for animals from. But this was his day. There's two names for that ride, the spider or the puke bucket. I don't think Janet got on this. She's just a little chicken. But the real fun is when you see 500 kids, you know, terminally ill children having fun in Neverland. I mean, that's when the park comes to life. They're having fun. Here's my mother and father shooting together, which is a great shot. That's fantastic. She's taking the popcorn. This is my nephew Taj, nephew Augie. Look at her, look at her. She's like me, she loves the camera. That's Janet and myself. Yeah, well, the whole family calls her Dunk, which is short for donkey. We've always called her that since she was a little girl. We're going into the movie theater to see a magic show. Two ice cream, that's her. Janet loves to eat.
This is the one. This is it.
Watch Augie. They gotta put their neck in there. Look at Augie. He's backing up.
Do you want to sit down? Okay. Okay, we're gonna do it. Here it goes. Everybody's gonna say one. Say one. Everybody's gonna say two. Two. Everybody's gonna say.
He ran. Well, look at him, he ran. He ran out of the theater. That's hilarious. Yeah, this back at the other house. That day Janet and I gave my father, we bought him a boat. And he loves to fish. He loves fishing. He loves the outdoors. He's an outdoorsman.
That's why y'all had me to snow it. It's nice. Who got this?
Rightfully mine did.
That's nice. You can trailer too.
Oh, he loves it.
Oh, she come on over in this boat. Look at her.
He's teasing her.
Let's go boat, Mom.
Oh, it's a big day. I found a tape that was really exciting because, in truth, I didn't even know it existed anymore. In between the tours, we had a break, and my brothers and I took my mother to Alabama to visit her stepfather.
We're on our way to Alabama.
That's right. Salvation Army tomorrow, Bill. Really, don't laugh. You find good stuff. Don't you, Tito? And other places will sell real expensive. I'm telling you. You're going to be hitting them soon with the depression.
I love going to the Salvation Army because I find things that I haven't seen since I was little.
There's Michael over there looking for junk.
They know I like to go through everything. I'm very curious. I go through drawers and go through everybody's closets. I don't steal, but I like to look and explore.
But what they got in there, Mike? Move, Marlon. South, baby.
I love seeing the old colonial homes in the South. I had set this shot of me and my brothers walking down. I have a film camera in my hand.
Fellas, I'm Georgia.
This is my mother in the front, and that lady behind her is my mother's stepfather's mistress.
All right.
Aunt Georgia. She's funny. That's me. Look at the shacks. I love this.
He's hiding behind his mom. Hey, Jacksons, turn around. Does it smell like beef jerky?
We were just exploring. They live in those houses. Very interesting. It's a whole different way of life down there.
Y'all tighten up.
We love visiting people we don't know. And we try to get these kids to dance, see. So I do a little step and maybe he would join in. He got a little shy. These kids have incredible rhythm, but they were shy in front of us.
You kick that thing on me hard. He was saying, he said, possums are good eating down here, aren't they?
They ate possum, but I wouldn't have any because I knew it was in the rodent family, and they're very cute. They got these little pink noses and big eyes, and very inviting, but I wouldn't want to eat one.
Papa,
Papa, where you been?
That's my mother's stepfather. Papa. Uncle Johnny. I love the way they talk down there. Like he's speaking another language, doesn't it?
Sugar Babe, need a hand?
Oh yeah, Sugar Babe. She helps take care of Uncle Johnny. She loves to dance. Sugar Babe. Uncle Johnny is truly a character, and he had this drink called White Lightning, and this drink was so strong, I'm not joking, one sip will get you drunk. It's really strong. My brother Tito took a sip and he went, wow. You couldn't believe it, but I stayed away from it. But Sugar Babe had some, that's why she was dancing.
All right, let's go. Bye, Papa. That's St. George that they're hugging. She was hiding in the house because she told us when it was time to leave that she couldn't take it, and she's crying. So Bill brought her out.
It was a wonderful experience. It was just really phenomenal. One day I get this call from Elizabeth Taylor saying she wanted to come to the ranch. She flew out in this helicopter.
How are you?
Hi. Is Michael out in front?
I knew by the tone of her voice that something was up, but I had no idea how big the surprise was. She came out with this huge elephant. And it was unbelievable. And at first I was kind of scared because this thing is huge. Eventually I got into it, feeding him carrots and stuff like that.
Great.
This is like a garbage can. Is your foot? Bless your heart.
I love elephants. They're gentle giants, really. Elizabeth was dressed like a gypsy, and that's why we named the elephant Gypsy. It was one of the best presents that I've ever gotten. I was so happy that day. It was a wonderful experience. We always end up our tours in fun places, like Florida, which did the Playboy Club Hotel, where these bunnies walking around serving you. You know, they have their little tails on, these little legs and stuff. Fun.
Me and Mac we're in Bermuda and we're looking for some interesting treasure.
Mac and I would go on vacation together, and Mac is very smart, and he's very ingenious in causing trouble.
But it's his idea.
Yeah, so I'm not gonna try this one.
And we were in Bermuda together, and we were signing water balloons. He had me signing water balloons, and he was throwing these balloons at the fans on the balcony. They loved it. They wanted more. They were asking for more.
But Mac's throwing it.
So I was signing these balloons, and he kept throwing them.
This balloon is autographed.
I'm signing them, he's throwing them, and that's what we did. Those are snaps, those little finger things you see there. When you throw them, they pop. And Mac wanted to see if he could light the snaps.
What?
What if we light this thing?
I didn't want him to do it, but
Mac!
he did it anyway.
No, we shouldn't use fire, Mac. I'm scared.
Right in front of the manager.
Especially with the manager standing over you.
No, okay, move back.
This is the manager of the hotel, you know. He's gonna run you out.
And he got away with it. The guy said, it's okay, don't worry about it. The footage you see now is Emmanuel Lewis and myself on this speedboat. This is at Disney World, and we had so much fun there. We did everything. We did hot air balloons. We fed turtles. There he is. He's dancing with the with the characters. He's not shy at all. I was too shy to dance. Oh yeah, I love the water parks. I wish I could do that more often these days, but I'm allergic to the sunlight. I really can't go in the sun. I have to have an umbrella, but then there are times when you just look. It looks like so much fun, you just say, forget it. I'm going. I have to do this.
Do you think that your success has actually made people turn against you?
The bigger the star, the bigger the target. And the more popular I became, the more rumors that were created, none of which were true. I mean, the moment I started breaking the all-time records of the biggest selling albums of all time, they called me weird overnight, strange, wacko. You know, they said I'm a girl, homosexual. He wants to buy the Elephant Man bones. He sleeps in a hyperbaric chamber. None of that stuff is true. All completely made up.
I've seen where you
all
sleep.
A lie.
I've seen where you sleep, exactly. And it's not a hyperbaric chamber.
I sleep in a bed. I mean, people would be so surprised how normal and simple the way I live.
Most people would have a very hard time thinking Michael Jackson's life was normal or simple. Maybe it's that ranch north of Santa Barbara, California, the 3,000 acres he calls Neverland.
Neverland is an extraordinary, a breathtaking, a stupendous, an exhilarating, an amazing place. I can't gather together words to describe Neverland. What inspired you to make a home like this?
What inspired me? It was so easy because it was me being myself, creating things that I love. And what I love, kids happen to love, or the child that lives inside the adult happens to love. You know, it is so easy because I'm just putting behind the gates everything I never got to do when I was a kid. When I was really little, 11 and 12, I was under contract with Motown, and I would have to go to the recording studio. I had to go and make these albums because the summer tour was right around the corner. And right across the street from the recording studio was a ballpark. And I could hear the kids, you know, the roar of the crowd and playing and catching ball and having fun and playing tennis. And some of those times I so passionately wanted to just go over there and just play a little bit. And people say, why is he always with children? Well, I was raised in a world with adults. When kids were playing and in bed sleeping at night, I was up doing clubs. I was doing club dates, 3 in the morning. The striptease would come on after us. You know, we were performing, and we didn't have friends. My brothers were like my friends, but we worked. There was no Christmas, there was no birthdays, and we were very strict Jehovah's Witnesses. So I'm compensating. Nature makes sure that I compensate for the lost. So when you come behind my gates, you'll see amusement park, you'll see animals, you'll see everything I never got to do. There's candy everywhere. It's fun.
Listen, kids.
So, want to come over here and see the elephant? I feel totally at home with them. I can talk to them one-on-one because they don't judge you. You know, they're not looking for anything. They just want to have some fun, you know. And that's the same with myself. And I can connect to that, you know. I can understand that. And the fact that I missed out on so much as a child. As soon as they come in the room, for me, the room lights up.
I like the sound it makes. That's great. That's great.
Because they're really funny. Oh my God, they're funny.
Didn't one of them say something funny to you yesterday about...
Yeah, one of the boys said to me, he said, he saw all the rides and all the amusements, and he said, Michael Jackson, you own all of this? I go, yeah. He said, "You paid for all of this?" I said, "Yeah, I did." "And you still have money left over?" That's exactly what he said to me. I said, "Yeah." I said, "Yeah." He goes, "I can't believe it." He said, "I can't believe it." That's exactly what he said. He was amazed that I still had money afterwards.
We're Make-A-Wish staff members, and we are escorting all the Wish families that came to meet Michael. It's just great to be a part of it and see how happy they are.
Everything is free. Theater, amusement park, whatever they want to do, they can do it.
But it's not free to you. It's cost you millions of
Millions
dollars.
a year, yeah, millions. But you know, I get it all back when I see them smile.
Sugar attack right now.
Peter Pan. I've been in the house. I've seen the statues outside the house. Why is Peter Pan a figure of such interest and inspiration to you?
Because Peter Pan, to me, represents something that's very special in my heart. You know, he represents youth, childhood, never growing up, magic, flying, everything I think that children and wonderment and magic, what it's all about. And to me, I just have never, ever grown out of loving that or thinking that is very special.
You don't want to grow up.
No, I am Peter Pan.
Are you like a Michael Jackson?
I'm Peter Pan in my heart.
Do you think it would be true to say that you found friendship and inspiration in children that you haven't been able to find in adults?
That's absolutely the truth.
Really?
Yes. Yes. I haven't been betrayed or deceived by children. Adults have let me down. Adults have let the world down.
The problem is, you see, nobody actually comes
Make this
here and
lighter.
sees it. But I was here yesterday and I saw it. And it's
Run off the
nothing
main,
short
but,
of a spiritually
front heavy.
kind thing.
He does it all the time.
I know, but I've told him. I
A
know.
lot of people see it, but
They never talk
say
about it, and
anything.
I've said this to him, and what I've wanted to convey is those two things. And what we've had the privilege of doing this week is not only talking about the musical genius, but about what we saw yesterday, which was incredible.
The woman you see has been Michael's makeup artist for over 20 years. After listening to the glowing praise Bashir had for Michael in this interview, she had a very hard time believing he could call Neverland a dangerous place for children.
I've never read about that. I didn't even... It's getting
And
worse.
like, he does, I mean, I can't tell you, I know with him, we've been doing it, you never see anybody talk about that stuff.
That pepper around a bit, so a bit.
But when Michael's
just
talking...
twist like
But when
this.
he's talking about the things that he's passionate about, it's obvious that it's in his eyes.
Yeah,
This is what's in his
people
heart.
usually don't ask these questions of him.
That's it.
And if they do, they don't make it in the papers, they don't make it on the interviews, it's all the negative stuff.
Stupid rumors.
And they cut questions out and they just like they make it. That's why he doesn't even do interviews anymore. They twist everything. From the moment I met him, I mean, I remember. How can people be so cruel? Like, I read an article and I was crying, and he goes,
It's disgusting. Well, we ain't doing that here.
What's happened in the past is things have been taken out of context, twisted around. If I can help straighten it out, as much as I do not speak about my family, I will. Right now.
When I was talking to Prince one day, he said to me that he didn't have a mother.
He said he didn't have a mother.
Yeah, I said, Prince, where's your mummy? And he said, I haven't got a mother.
That's right.
Did you tell him to say that? What do you think he means when he said, I haven't got a mother?
Like he said he didn't have a mother.
My kids don't call me mom because I don't want them to. They're Michael's children. It's not that they're not my children, but I had them because I wanted him to be a father. I believe that there are people who should be parents, and he's one of them. And he is such a fabulous man and such a good friend, and he's always been there for me, always, from the day I met him. I could do something for him, and this is what I wanted to do.
She's a wonderful person, too.
She knew that Michael Jackson loves children.
Yeah.
And she knew that Michael Jackson wanted children.
That's why.
And she
You
was...
need to be a daddy.
Right. She said you needed to be a daddy. More than she needed to be a mother.
Yeah. She wanted to do that for me as a present. The first two Crystal Paris from Debbie, which was natural conception.
You had sex with Debbie.
Yes.
I know that's difficult for me to say because you're
Yeah,
so
don't say that
embarrassed.
word on camera.
But you actually had sex with her. You conceived those children.
Yes.
So this mother carries both children for 9 months in her body, and she gives birth to them, and she prefers that they have nothing to do with her.
But it's hard when you're an entertainer, you know. It's hard to have a marriage, and I mean, one day I'll be married again, but it's too soon. I went through 2 tough divorces. So I'm married to my fans. I'm married to God. I'm married to my children. I'm married to life. I don't want people seeing me. Because the press, they can be very mean. I don't want them to grow up psychologically crazy because of the evil things they could say to them. I want them to be normal. That makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Right?
It does. It does. Take, for example, what happened in Germany, where there was a huge outcry,
Yeah.
and you suffered a great deal of negative comment in the press.
Yeah.
Was there no one in your group who said, Michael, even though you're not going to damage your child, and you would never harm your child, but Michael, if you dangle blanket over a balcony, you are going to be severely criticised?
No, because...
Was there no one in the room who would say, Michael, don't do
My
it?
governesses were up there.
And they didn't say no?
No, because I was holding that baby strong, hard, tight.
No, that's exactly what I'm saying, though.
You know, and I know better. And I've seen
You know better.
people that flip their kids up in the air, do somersaults and catch them. And, you know, I get caught up in the moment. It's holding on tight. Just let them give away. And, but and it happens for like 2 seconds. But when it gets on the news, they slow it down. They don't show the crowd. It makes me look like I'm this eccentric idiot dangling his baby over a balcony like a nut.
One of the things that I noticed about you over the last year is your relationship with your children. And I have to say to you, and I didn't know you before, and you haven't put on a front, your relationship with your children is spectacular.
I love them.
And in fact, it almost makes me weep when I see you with them, because your interaction with them is just so natural, so loving, so caring.
Thank you so much.
And everybody who ever comes into contact with you knows that.
I'm crazy. I would die for them. I mean, I'm crazy about them. And I tell them. I look into their eyes every day. I make sure I do it. I say, look at me. I say, I love you very much. In the eyes.
What they actually say to you is they love you and you say, I love you more. That's what you say every single time.
Say that, right?
That's your phrase, and I've heard it. I've heard it once. I've heard it a million times.
Yeah, and they say such sweet things sometimes. And I didn't tell them to say it. They say it all the time. Like Prince will come to me and say, Daddy, thank you for giving me a brother. All the time. You know, parents will say that too. Thank you for giving us a brother. You know, and I would like to have more children.
Where is Bubbles now?
Bubbles is, he's with a caretaker with like 40 to 50 other chimps. Because chimps, they get to an age like teenage kids do, where they want to challenge their parents. Like if your father tell you to do something, you go, why? Why do I have to do it, Dad? And chimps are very much like that too. They'll challenge you. And it can become dangerous in a way. You know, and if they get angry with you and decide to take you on, it's no match. I mean, they're very, very strong. They can take your finger off. They're very powerful.
But while Bubbles was living at Neverland, Bubbles, the other animals, and Michael were virtually inseparable.
Many people made fun of me with my animals, you know. If I come home from a hard day at the studio and I come home to my deer or my chimps, and I can hug them and they don't ask you anything, they don't complain, you know, they don't gossip. They just want a hug and some love and
and get on with it. You know, where's the pizza? Whip out the ice cream. Because the chimps, they love snacks. And, you know, they run around and they help me clean the room and they help me fix up things, you know, and their DNA is literally identical to ours if you look in the microscope. And they're amazing.
Chimps would help you clean the house?
Yeah, they help me clean up my room. They help me dust. They do windows. They flush the toilet after they use the bathroom. And
you let the chimps use your own bathroom?
Sure, yeah, of course. Bubbles would go himself. And he'd sit at the table and he picks up his spoon and his fork and he eats and he's very polite. And they're very intelligent.
You've been so successful and you've amassed so much wealth. You never need to work again. And yet you don't seem to be able to enjoy it. It seems that you're restricted somehow.
I enjoy it through my children. I enjoy it.
But I'm talking about you. You just don't seem to enjoy it.
Enjoy what?
Enjoy your success. Enjoy your wealth.
It's hard to, I can enjoy it behind my gates, but I can't go out and enjoy it because it becomes work all over again.
You often seem very lonely. Is that true?
I used to be very lonely, painfully lonely. So bad. You have no idea. I used to walk the streets looking for people to talk to.
I hear Michael saying that he was lonely, but back in those days, Michael had his brothers. He had all his brothers to play with.
Yeah, all of us.
Oh, and so, you know, and the kids that he bought all the candy around, he buy so much candy, and kids would be in a circle, standing around in a circle, and they all be eating candy off the allowance I had given him. But one thing he enjoyed, to see those kids eating that candy, he'd be laughing.
Weren't you surrounded by your family, by musicians, by people wanting to be your friend? You were an international superstar. How can you say you had no friends?
Because those people spoke to me on a language on another level that was musical, that was entertainment, but to get away from that, to separate oneself from that, and to try to discover the fun things about life.
When do you feel lonely?
When do I feel lonely? I mean, I can be, you know, usually in hotels, when there's thousands of friends chanting, you're out in the street, they're using sleeping bags and they're chanting how much they love you and everything, and you can't get out, you feel trapped inside, and you just cry, you feel lonely, you know? And there's all that love out there, but still you really do feel trapped and lonely, that you can't get out. And if you go to a bookstore, if you go out, if you go to a club, which I don't like clubs, you know, every book you buy, they want to know, why are you buying this? Why is Michael Jackson buying this? Why is he reading this? Or you go to the club, as soon as you go in there, every song is my song, as if I want to hear my music. And everybody starts chanting for me to dance. So it becomes a show all over again. So you can't go anywhere. So wherever you go, you know.
That's not much of a life, is it?
I know, it's difficult. And I don't want to complain like I'm complaining, because it comes with the territory, but I don't think people understand the other side that comes with it. So they're so quick to call you strange and weird, but it's almost as if you're forced to be different, because it's not normal life, you know?
I can do the normal things, go to the store and buy a piece of bread, a piece of candy or something. He can't do that. So that would cause you to become a recluse or to sort of be withdrawn.
Do you not sometimes wish that you could go to the local store and
of course
buy yourself some food and come back, or
of
go to a
course,
bar?
I want to go to the market, like one of those markets, and take one of those carts and throw some food in there and go down the aisle. I would love to do that.
Can you do that?
No, of course not. Of course not. I tried, and the whole place stops, you know, and everybody's chanting and getting your autograph, and it's hard. It doesn't work. I like going inside, and that's the same thing as performance. You can tell right away when an artist You can read it on her face when she's dancing. She's counting 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6. And you can see it. But that's the wrong concept for dance. Dancing is about feeling, not about thinking. So when they count, they're thinking. You feel, become the bass, become the drums, become the guitar and the strings. You just become a oneness, you know? I love performing.
But that's not...
I wish I could sleep on stage.
But that's not Michael Jackson the person. I didn't really know how you behave with the people who come to the ranch and come to your home. I hadn't seen it. And you were the most generous person. But I looked around here yesterday, and some of the people really appreciated it. But others were greedy. Others couldn't help themselves. Do you sometimes despair of human nature?
Yes.
Having surgery or changes or whatever, cosmetic surgery or anything like that. People have that sort of thing in this country all the time.
All the time.
People go on a weekly basis to have
All
things
the time.
changed.
And most celebrities, most movie stars, you know.
So why is it such an issue that you do that?
But the fact that they said I had, like I'm overly obsessed with it, is not true. That's not, the things they've said that I've done are not true. I haven't had my eyes done. I haven't had my cheekbones done. I haven't had my lips done. I haven't had my chin done. That's a lie. They just go too far.
In the final interview 8 months later, Martin Bashir is still doggedly pursuing rumors of Michael's plastic surgery.
Fine.
You look fine. I'm one of the stinky.
That's nice.
But you don't look stinky.
An area of his life Bashir said he felt Michael had been less than honest about.
You know, you've physically changed, haven't you? The photographs of you, if I look at them
No, it's
from...
called adolescence. It's called growing and changing.
Yeah, but even the shape of your face has
No,
changed.
it has not. I've had no plastic surgery on my face, just my nose. It helped me breathe better so I can hit higher notes and have clearer. The press is like to add on all this stuff. Nothing's been done to my eyes, cheekbones, chins, lips, nothing. They made it all up.
Do you think that people do go too far with plastic surgery, generally? Do you think
Well,
it's
up to
become...
them.
So why are you so defensive when people say, Mick Jagger's had one, Paul McCartney may have had one, oh, Michael Jackson's had one?
They don't do it that way.
What do they
They
do?
just pick on me like I'm the only one that does it. That's why.
So if people said, well, actually, Michael's the same as everyone else,
Yeah.
then it wouldn't upset you so much.
It would upset me so much.
You know, if you want to have a facelift, you have a facelift.
Yeah. If it makes you happy, which was a rumor. They said I was putting on cream to make myself lighter. That's not true. I have vitiligo.
You have a condition.
Vitiligo is a medical condition that Jackson claims has afflicted him for more than 20 years. This disfiguring skin disease affects nearly 2% of the world's population and strips all pigmentation from the skin. The result is not just pale, but porcelain white.
You talked about how when you went through adolescence,
Yeah.
you had a terrible time.
Yeah.
And in fact, I had a look at some pictures of you during that period. And you did have a lot of spots.
Yeah. Yeah. And being shy as I am and was, then even worse then. Terrible shit. It's like a disease.
I mean, can you ever do anything that's right?
No. No matter what you do, there's always somebody that would say something about it. They're opinionated, you know? No matter what you do. No matter how good your intentions are, there's always some jerk, some mean-spirited person to try to bring you down. And all you wanted to do is bring some love and some joy, and, you know, that's all.